Crisis on Umbara continues the Iokath/Traitor plotline and has some marked improvements over War on Iokath. However, despite fixing some problems, Crisis exposes the major weakness of the story thus far, which hopefully still could be fixed if examined. First, let's actually talk about the gameplay. I liked a lot of this chapter when it comes to the gameplay. Crisis on Umbara is a short-length chapter that moves at a brisk pace. There's only a little filler here. It's a linear mission with very clear objectives. Unlike War for Iokath, which had a lot of busy work, Crisis gets the ball rolling in the best way possible. An incursion onto a moving train. Now, I've been looking forward to a set piece like this since the Shroud's questline on Nar Shaddaa, and risks like this were welcome in the game's design. The train has your standard array of mobs, but you'll also be fighting physical knockbacks, traps, and surprises on and in the train as it pushes towards its destination. However, the train is only the first half of the mission. At about halfway through the chapter, Theron Shan is exposed as the traitor. He blows up the train, and from here until the end of the mission, you're on foot or speeder to run him down. There's a few sub-bosses here, but nothing really difficult, and as an improvement from the War on Iokath, the bosses in this mission don't rinse and repeat the same break the shield, then beat the boss mechanic. Instead, bosses in this chapter use multiple adds, positioning, and physics to wreck your day. On harder difficulties, this may prove a bit challenging, but in your first go on story mode, it's pure fun. The story for this chapter is quite simple. Track down the traitor and confront them. However, this plotline, despite using Theron as the traitor, has lacked emotional impact for me during War for Iokath, and continues to do so here. If you've played as a Lightside Alliance member especially, his griping about peace doesn't make much sense, since you've single-handedly removed the worst despot from the galaxy, and kept the two major factions that make war in the galaxy from killing each other. You are the thin red line between peace and a three-way faction free-for-all. Understandably, this is all to set up either two plot points. Either Theron truly believes this and will be a true antagonist in the next chapters, or he is playing the role of a spy again and setting himself up as a traitor to be a double agent inside the new shadowy organization. Either way, I found this to lack any emotional punch. Theron was a secondary addition in Knights of the Fallen Empire, and despite being foisted upon you for certain missions in the last two expansions, he's failed to have any major weight to my characters. Also, the design for the Shadow Organization, which I think of as the League of Generically Evil Evildoers, looks like they're wearing some Zakulian robes and masks, but no clear standout design. Personally, I think this chapter was a missed opportunity to drop a real whammy on us players. I'll reveal what I would have liked better at the end. Let's talk a little bit about Umbara. Umbara actually has some really great set pieces for design, and I really do appreciate BioWare's efforts in this. The world is pretty, and the train was a great idea for a set piece. It's one that I hope BioWare will keep reaching for. Overall, I think the design was a huge improvement over the previous chapter on Iokath. Where Iokath felt bland and confusing, Umbara felt crisp, fast, and right to the point. It's perfect if you have just a little bit of time and you want to jump into the game. This is a great chapter to play to get some quick action and some quick points. My only major criticism outside of the story for this chapter was some of the glitchiness of Umbara. Knockbacks didn't always work right. Also, early on in the second half, I skipped past a few animals to get to the next map, and ended up staying in combat for the entire second half of the mission, even after killing said creatures when they were warped to the spider tank end boss, and after I'd killed that boss. Little things like that proved to be an annoyance in an otherwise very fun chapter. That wraps up most of what I thought about this chapter's design, but my last thoughts before I go. Let's talk about the magic moment that could have made this entire plot line better. Right at the end, Theron has a holo call with the League of Generically Evil Evildoers. It was at this point they could have made up for the entire story thus far by replacing that random scrub on the holo call with somebody like Darth Malgus. That's right, Darth Malgus. Darth Malgus was never really confirmed dead, and would be a perfect behind-the-scenes antagonist with a bone to pick against the Outlander. A huge part of the 1 through 50 storyline sets Malgus up as a smart antagonist through mission briefings, cutscenes, and flashpoints. Bringing him back now would have given us a character to be excited about, with a bonus that we could bring back a character from the universe we already know. thinking that Malgus, who undermined his own emperor, could form a shadow organization that could undermine the Eternal Throne isn't a stretch at all, and fighting Malgus as a big bad again would allow for some really interesting character dialogue and growth. So what do you guys think? What would you think would make the storyline of the traitor a little bit better? Go ahead and put your thoughts below in the comment area. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Anyway, if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. That lets me know you want to see more. And until then, we'll see you next time.